Hi, Matthew and Meryl. This is a roundtable for Outlander, Blood of My Blood. I will be moderating for us today. I will go off camera, and we're going to take our first question today from Karen with UPI.
Oh,
Hi, thank you so much for chatting with us. So
hi.
this series is absolutely beautiful. Can you talk a little bit about balancing capturing the magic of the original and then telling a completely fresh new story?
Um, yeah, I think we want to have the essence of Outlander, the original, but we want to feel like that you can just come to this show, kind of blind without knowing anything about Outlander. But if you've watched Outlander, if you love Outlander, there's going to be so many little things in the show that will add to it. It's kind of like the bonus round. You get the bonus round, and hopefully people will watch Blood of My Blood and then get interested in, oh wow, there's another show. I want to go watch that too. So I think it's really kind of cool for both sides of that coin.
Anything to add?
No, that was pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty concise.
there you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Diana with Geek Girl Authority.
Hi there, Matthew and Meryl. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. I'm from Geek Girl Authority. My question is regarding the female gaze. When Outlander first premiered, it showcased in a way no one had seen before the female gaze, Claire's agency and ability and the emotional world that you presented. When you approached Blood of My Blood, was that in your mind too, to continue with Ellen and with Julia?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I think the female gaze question is always so interesting to me because I don't think I think during Outlander that was mentioned, but it wasn't something we were hugely conscious of. It was more from a character perspective from Claire that she took agency in her sex life basically, and that somehow turned into a female gaze moment. Same thing in Blood in My Blood. It so happens that we've got two female characters who also take some agency in that area, and also maybe a little touch modern in certain areas from the norm. But to me, it should just be a strong female moment opposed to female gaze. And I think we always come at it from the character perspective of whose scene is this, who's taking the lead in the scene, as opposed to specifically trying to craft these moments that it is a female gaze.
Yeah, and for me, I don't like the word, connected, strong female character. I think strong character covers it. If they happen to be a male, they happen to be a male. If they happen to be a female, they happen to be a female. What they're doing is strong. It doesn't matter if they're female or male. And I think if you come at to it from a story standpoint, like I do, is just write the scene. Who's driving that scene? There's different strengths in this world. There's emotional strength, there's physical strength, and I think our characters, both on Outlander and Blood of My Blood, are really strong, and you root for them and you follow them because they are powerful people in their own right, both physically, mentally, emotionally. And I don't care if they're male or female. And I think when you start defining it that way, it kind of diminishes. You never say strong male character. You just don't say it. It's just, oh, is it just inherent? No, we have very weak male characters, but you don't say that either. So I think I come to it that way. I don't know about everybody else, but Claire and Ellen and Julia are just strong, badass people, and that's what they are.
Thank you so much.
All right. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but I just did. All right.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Our
Yeah.
next question is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just talking off camera.
Okay, we're going to talk to Jamie with SciFi Vision next.
Hi, thanks for talking to us. Is there anything you did from, I guess, a production standpoint to sort of make this a little different from the original, like so it feels different? I'm just curious if there's anything in that sense that you did to make it stand out.
Yes, we did. We went back to our roots, oddly enough. We went back to Scotland. We went back to how we crafted, how we set the cameras for the look of the first season. So I don't, you guys may or may not know this, but about 80% of Outlander does not take place in Scotland. And even though we're known as a Scottish show, so this show is a Scottish show. It's all about Scotland. It's all that look and that feel, and we want you to feel the cold when it's cold, and the wet when it's wet, and the dirt when it's dirt, and we want you to be inside those castles. And we have a castle look. We actually have a castle look, and so I think that's what makes it stand out, and I think that's what people want. I mean, they yearn for Scotland. At least I know the Outlander fans that I talk to do. So we went back to that.
Do you have anything to add?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will add in if I will add in.
Yeah, she adds in. Trust me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Ariana with Fresh Pair of Eyes.
Hi, nice to talk to you guys again.
Hi.
So you guys got the chance to write the epic meet cutes for Julia and Henry and also Ellen and Brian. How did you decide how they were going to meet, and how did you decide what will now be like these epic meet cute moments?
Well, Brian and Ellen, I knew met in the books. They kind of meet spontaneously and they fall in love immediately in the books. So I wanted to have at least the essence of that. And so, but I also wanted to have the feeling of they hear each other first rather than see each other first. And so we did, they meet in a barn, and there's, if people are paying attention, there's a little, a little line that Outlander fans might key to when they first meet. And it had to be, in the script, it actually says thunderclap. So we started calling it the thunderclap scene. And we knew it had to be so powerful to get them to the bridge, and that they had to get to the bridge. And, for me, it's the bridge scene that really brings it all together. And for that one, and for Henry and Julia, I knew, he had to be in the war and she had to be back home. And it was like, how did they meet? How would they meet in that way? And there was a personal thing with my father who met his wife, not my mother, but through emails and writing and texting, or not texting, but chat rooms and stuff. And they wrote each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they finally decided they were going to meet each other. And I know they had talked, on the phone, but they never saw each other. And he asked me to take him to the airport, and I said, well, you don't know what she looks like. What are you doing? You're going out there. And he's like, it doesn't matter. I already love her. And he did, and he left. And when he came home, he said he was done. He was going to retire. He was going to go live with her, and he got married, and and they lived happily until he passed away. So that story was like, that's the story I want to tell, because I knew it was rooted in reality. And so Henry and Julia had the perfect way to do it. He writes a letter, and because it's magic, because Outlander's magical, is that she pulls that letter out, and that's the letter she reads, and that she really reads, and then she writes back. And as soon as she writes back, that's when the connection starts, and they just going back and forth until they actually fall in love. So it doesn't matter that they didn't see each other on those steps. That's the magic of Outlander. And I hope everybody feels that when they do see each other on those steps. But those are the two, that's how they came about.
The cutest thing ever. Don't make me cry. You already got me tearing up. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from John with Nerds That Geek.
Matthew, Maril, thank you both so much for your time today, first and foremost. Really do appreciate it. You both have crafted just a beautiful story. Tapestry is a word that's been thrown around a lot today. And I'm just curious what you're most proud of when it comes to what you've assembled so far.
Oh, wow. I said to this when we were showing this to the cast and crew back in Scotland. We showed them the first couple episodes, and I really am proud to have my name on this. I think it's something that when you gather a whole bunch of really talented people together and you let them be talented, that you get something a little extraordinary. And I really believe that the response to this has been overwhelming, and it's beautiful. I know it's beautiful. And that's just, I'm not being biased there. And it's just so many talented people, and I'm really proud that we collectively put it all together. And I think that's what I'm most proud of. It's not like one scene or one moment, but it's just this collective of people who just get really passionate. And I think it's because you allow them to do what they're really good at.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, when Matt came with this idea, I was really excited about it, and certainly when he introduced the idea of Claire's parents also being a part of it and being kind of essential. It's Claire and Jamie's story, so of course it's going to be Claire and Jamie's parents' story, which I loved. But I was nervous because obviously Outlander has, you know, sustained us for 10 years, 8 seasons. It's been a success, and it's hard to want to do another show and have it maybe compete with the mothership. But I am so proud of Matt and the whole team for creating a show that really does stand on its own. It's truly a phenomenal show in its own right, and it feels of the same cloth, but it feels like a wholly different story and just as exciting as the mothership in a completely different way. So, and I'm just proud also we can continue to do stuff in Scotland where we have this great crew, this great family we've built, this great facility we've put together, and to continue that presence there has also been really rewarding.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you both so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Raquel with Fangirlish.
Hey, I'm Raquel from Fangirlish. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Well, my question is for the both of you. Are there any particular episodes that this season that you consider a key point for the history?
So I missed the word that sorry, I missed it. That's okay.
Are there any particular episodes of the season that you consider a key point for the history?
Hey, I know
I'm so
it's probably
Bond actually, so I'm not sure if what that particular.
what's that particular word there?
Are there any particular episodes of the season that you consider a key point?
Oh, a gate point?
Key point.
A key point. A key
Sorry,
point. All right, that's all right.
Just gotta get.
Yeah, a key point. I think, I think episode 5, we always usually write to the midpoint, as in a really big epic moment where a lot turns, so that fulcrum of the season. And I think episode 5 does that for us. It would be a natural, if we were ever to take a break, that would be that natural break. And then you go into the rest of the season. So, it's where Brian and Ellen, their relationship takes a turning point. I think it takes a turning point with his cousin Murtaugh. I think Murtaugh and Jocasta take a turning point. There's a lot of turning points going on in that episode. So that would be my answer, is episode 5.
Yeah, and he kind of stole my answer. I'd say the same thing. But I would say 5 and 6 actually are two kind of episodes that show turning points as well, because I think 6 may be more about Henry Julia.
Yeah.
So I think 5 and 6 are great.
Yeah, it depends what character
Yeah,
you're talking
exactly.
about. Yes, but that's definitely the two.
And sorry, we obviously have to get our ears cleaned up.
Sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Monica with Time Warner Entertainment.
Hi, Matthew and Maril, my two geniuses. I love seeing you every season. I'm so happy for the
You
show.
start every sentence like that. You go right up the list, I'll tell you there.
I love you two so much. So I want to ask you a two-part question. The second part's a little funny, but for the first part, I wanted to know what was your thematic North Star for the show that you tried to keep to? And then the second part is, which show is going to win with the Sassenach? Like the term being used. Will Blood of My Blood use it more, or will Outlander use it more at the end?
Oh, wow. Thematically, it's always tell the best love story you can. And I think that's the root of Outlander, and that's going to be the root of Blood of My Blood, is because that's what we do. And to keep the roller coaster going throughout, it's finding love, trying to keep love, losing love, all that. All the political and clan rivalries and family dynamics. That's all the spice and stuff. But the meat and potatoes is always going to be the love story. And the second question is, there's a lot more Sassenachs because there's just so many. There's 101 episodes of Outlander, so there's a lot of Sassenachs going on. So hopefully one day we'll be able to catch up.
I know. We'll have to count them at the end.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you guys are the best. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
gorgeous filter on the season, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Gorgeous filter.
And we're going to go throw it back to Karen with UPI.
Matt, you just spoke very poignantly about your own father, and that was beautiful for you to share. Something that really struck me about this season is that parental relationships are so important. Can you talk a little bit about how the relationships with their fathers really impacted Ellen and Brian and who they want to be?
Yeah, I think it's very rooted in this show. The dynamics aren't just with those particular characters too, but how it influences all the other characters around them. I mean, if you look at Ellen, she's treated certainly one way by Red Jacob, her father, who's just, she's the sun and the moon and the stars in his eyes, as it should be. And Dougal and Colin resent that. They have to fight against that. They have to vie for their father's attention. But they're men in this time, and they'll never get that same attention. And because, the irony is, because she's a woman, she gets that attention. Because she's a woman, she won't ever get to be Laird. And so there's, and they could possibly. So what they want is his attention, and what she wants is to be Laird, so it's just this weird, cross dynamic that it's never kind of ending. And with Lovett, who I always say that about Lovett, that people misunderstand him, is that he has the biggest heart in the world. He's a very loving man, but he only loves himself. And that's his problem.
Yeah. But I think that also makes Brian who he is. He's been forged in fire, really, and the biggest touch point for him has been his mother, Davina.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the lack of that father figure in some ways has made Brian the character he is, and
Yeah.
we'll see.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is all the time we have for this roundtable. Thank you, Matthew and Maril. Thank you to our press.
Thank you, everyone.